Hey everyone, it's Sweeterthingscookies, and today we're taking this and turning it into this, some nice little royal icing flowers. So to get started, you really want a stiff consistency icing. As you can see, or I'm trying to show you with my bad camera skills right now, the peaks are sticking. We want them to be able to stand on their own, they're able to support themselves. That's the type of icing that you need for any detail for a royal icing sugar cookie, including flowers, but you want to make sure it's not so stiff that it's hard to pipe out of the bag. So a little tip for anyone who's doing this is to take a cup and your tipless bag and you just put it right inside of the cup. I find this to be the easiest way to get the icing actually into your bag. It's the cleanest way. You don't get icing all over the counter and you're just able to put however much you need in there. I definitely put in way more than I needed to, which made it hard to shut the bag, but you live and you learn. So we'll just get this part wrapped up real quick off camera because I am still learning how to film on camera, and boom, we're here with the tip on. So you'll notice this is a Wilton 120 tip. It has a thicker side on the one side and then it comes around thinner. The thicker side is the part that we want to have at the base of the center of the flowers. Please ignore why it's already flooded, it's just to add detail on at the end, but you're going to take that thicker part and with a medium pressure you're just going to push it out. So you'll notice the thinner side kind of creates a little bit of a wave, so it makes it a little bit more delicate looking, and that's why it's so important that the texture of your icing in these flower decoration stages is stiff, because you need it to hold its own. Otherwise, if this was like a flooding consistency that flows a little bit more, we would just be getting icing all over the place. With these cookies, you really do want to take your time. I mean, you don't have to be perfect. Everything kind of ends up looking pretty at the end, but it does take a little bit of practice. So I would suggest there is a tool that I couldn't find on hand that you can put a piece of parchment paper on with the royal icing and then put the cookie on top of. That will make spinning it around that much easier, where you don't have to worry about crushing the petals you've already created. But I'm really just YOLOing this one to show you how to make some pretty flowers for Easter. And I'm filling in that little corner there. Really, it's just trial and error. As long as the thicker piece is at the bottom, then the thinner part will do all of the hard work of making the texture look like a flower petal, and you just need to control your hand for the most part to make it look like a flower. So I'm just gonna let you watch me make a few more in case you wanna check out my technique or just watch the flowers be created all at the same time without having to listen to my annoying voice. So here we go. And we're back. So now you're going to see why I kept that yellow flooding underneath. I'm just going to take this icing bag and cut the tip very small. You want it to be big enough that the icing flows freely, but not too big that it creates big globs. So you can see it is fairly small there. So all I'm going to do at this point is just add little yellow dots into the center of all of these flowers to give it a little bit more of that pollen look. I've tried to bring it a little bit closer to the camera so you can see it here, and really no flour has to be perfect. None are going to be the same, and that's kind of the beauty of cookies when you're doing everything by hand with royal icing. It's very difficult to get everything to look the same, but it just means that each one is unique and beautiful in its own way, I guess, kind of like people or snowflakes, so they say, rather than it being like a edible ink printer cookie. So I've always loved doing this, and I think that, you know, some aren't going to be perfect, but they look beautiful anyway. My final step is always adding that little bit of glitter for people at the end. So you'll see me spray it on, and I'll just clean it up a little bit so there isn't too much. And here's the final result.